Yeah, there's definitely something out here with me. Well, shit. I definitely keep hearing the sound of howling. There is a werewolf out here, I swear. Right there, you see it? Oh God, I think that's a freaking bear. Hey, big bear. Oh shit. But if I want to get out of this forest, now is my chance. Maybe my only chance. Good evening, Appalachia and all who inhabit it. I am excited for this one. When I was around 8 years old, my father sat me down to watch my very first horror movie, that being the 2008 cult classic Dog Soldiers by Neil Marshall, and starring the voice actor for Soap from Modern Warfare. It's a movie about a squad of British soldiers who are besieged in a cabin by a pack of werewolves. An absolutely badass premise for a movie. This film cemented my love for the horror genre and the paranormal, and of course my love for werewolves. Werewolves and Dogman are my favorite horror movie monster and my favorite cryptid type. The Michigan Dogman, the Beast of Bray Road, the Loop Guru. I love them all, and to my absolute pleasure, my home state of Tennessee has its own lupine legend. Well, we kind of share it with Kentucky. I wanted to try to get evidence of one of these creatures on camera, and so when I did some researching, I found possibly the best place to do so. Critters, we are heading to the land between the lakes. The LBL is one of the largest wilderness recreation areas east of the Mississippi, spanning a whopping 170,000 square acres and around 40 miles from ass to tip. The LBL is basically a long forested peninsula sitting between Lake Kentucky and Lake Barkley and spans across the Tennessee-Kentucky border. It was created when the TVA flooded the area with the Kentucky Dam, submerging multiple communities, houses, cemeteries. The land between the lakes is big, it's isolated, and apparently a hotspot for paranormal and cryptid activity. People frequently claim that they hear something following them when they're hiking along the trails. Others report hearing odd noises like droning, ringing, or the sound of like a sonar ping. Some say you can come across ghostly apparitions of like soldiers and women in white who are crying. Bigfoot sightings, sticks being thrown at hikers, everything in between. Just all kinds of spooky shit. But what's drawing me to the land between the lakes is the sheer magnitude of Dogman and werewolf sightings, as the park has some of the most concentrated number of sightings I've read about. But you may be asking yourself, what the hell is a Dogman? Don't worry, it's not some type of furry. A Dogman is a lot like a werewolf, but instead of a cursed man who turns into a half-man, half-wolf upon the full moon, a Dogman is simply a predatory creature, a cryptid. Reports say that this lupine critter stands at 7 feet tall, is covered in fur, has long, gangly arms, claws, teeth, tails, the whole shebang. But the most striking figure are their heads, as almost every sighting says that the Dogman has a wolf or German Shepherd-like head, whereas, again, werewolves transform under the full moon, and there are many different tellings of what werewolves look like. Some say they look more like the Wolfman, some say they stand bipedal like the werewolves and dog soldiers, but Dogmen generally have a streamlined look that they're supposed to have. You know, the bipedal, wolf-headed wolf creatures. And unlike werewolves, which are usually hyper violent because of the curse, the Dogman usually just acts like a bear would. You know, it's just a large predator that probably doesn't want to attack you as long as you don't provoke it or startle it. And like I said, there are countless stories of Dogmen and werewolves, and even, like I said, Bigfoot. here in the land between the lakes, and I'm just going to tell you some of them, especially the popular Dogman story, an attack. This one's an attack. Sometime in the late 70s or early 80s, a young family was wiped out in an attack by the beast, a dogman or werewolf. The family was visiting from Florida and was found torn to pieces in their RV. The names of the parents aren't recorded, but they had 2 children, Bradley and Megan. Megan was with the rest of her family in the RV, though her remains had been hauled up into a tree. Yeah, that's pretty dark. The most recent sighting was in 2017, where apparently on Labor Day there was a witness who heard howling in the woods and then saw a large creature chase deer into the woods. They described it being 7 feet tall, stocky, and covered in fur. They even found a large paw print in the fresh mud. Now, throughout my research, there are plenty of places that I could look at to try to catch this thing on camera, but I think my best bet would be a trail known as the North to South Trail. Basically, it's like a 50-mile backpacking, biking, AT. You can do anything on this trail, and it spans the entire length of the land between the lakes. It's reportedly quite isolated, so I think really just my best bet, if I'm ever going to come across something, it's going to be around there. I'm going to be entering the trail from the north side, which will be in Kentucky, utilizing my GoPros, night vision cameras, and my thermal camera to see if I can catch any evidence of this thing. So critters, let's take that 3-hour drive to the land between the lakes. Let's get to it. Howdy critters, we're here, land between the lakes. I don't know why I expected. I kind of figured it'd be a bit less flat. This right here is Lake Barkley, I believe. Man, that's pretty. Ooh, there we are, fellas. They're officially in the park. Man, I've been wanting to come here for so long and hunt werewolves and dogmen and furries. I'm gonna bring myself back a pelt. And if it's a furry I catch, I'll just hang their fursuit on my wall. Alright, real quick, let me take a little pooperoo before I get out there. Hey critters, do you think the dogman lives there in the sewage system? Dogman? Oh, that's disgusting. I'm not going to show you that. Oh my god, why? I love you. Love you. I'll be right back. Here we go. The north-south trail. This damn thing expands the entire length of the park. So it's what is it, like 50 miles? It's a pretty large park, and it's a pretty damn large trail. I believe that if I were to come across dogman, werewolf, or furry, it would be right here on the north-south trail. So let's see if we can find something. See if we can learn anything about it. Yeah, total trail length 57 miles. Difficulty moderate. Surface dirt. Yeah, no shit. Oh, dude, you can take horses up on here. I wish I had a Hans. You know, I'm out here hunting for a werewolf. I really wish I could have brought my AR-15, but apparently you can bring rifles and stuff on this trail, but they must be in a carrying case. So I would have to hold a freaking gun case the entire time. I ain't doing that shit. We'll just have to rely on the good old-fashioned pig sticker. If a furry comes at me, I'll fucking in their fucking fursuit. Yeah, I feel completely safe. All right, critters, without further ado, let us commence the autism. I will say, it is kind of an eerie forest, not gonna lie. We have a OSHA violation right off the bat. It's good luck, right? Oh, that's cool. Hello. Any werewolf? I doubt there's gonna be a werewolf or a dogman like right off the trail. Oh, look at that sunset. That is pretty. You know, I say it many times in my videos, but I find dusk a lot scarier than just pure night. I think it's just because it's kind of hard to see. I think it's because your eyes play tricks on you a lot at dusk when the sun's going down, but it's not quite completely dark. And it kind of looks like every little movement is something coming after you. But yeah, the land between the lakes is a very, very interesting park. There's countless like old town sites and old house sites and flood, like right over there where we first parked down yonder at that golden pond. There is apparently an entirely underwater ghost town that was completely flooded when TVA took over and built all these dams. So there is a crap ton of history, a crap ton of creepy, spooky stuff hidden in these woods. And whenever people come here, there's countless stories of not only cryptid encounters like Bigfoot, Dogman, werewolves, but also like paranormal stuff, ghosts, spirits, and haunts. So I mean, this forest just has it all. Well, we have a split in the road, but there are no trail markers. That's odd. You'd think a park as popular as this would have some trail markers telling you where to go. It doesn't, I don't think, it doesn't make much sense that it goes that way. I think we go down yonder. Periodically throughout this investigation, this hunt, I may hear strange noises that my camera light, with the way that YouTube kind of compresses video, may not be able to see despite my very powerful light. So I have two tools to help me with that. I have these night vision goggles that I will turn on and use when I hear strange noises to see in the dark, and I have a thermal camera, so there ain't gonna be nothing that's gonna be able to hide from me out here. These things are so cool, by the way. I can't wait to use them. Let's get to it. Well, we have Lord heavens, we have a bridge, but is this the way that I'm supposed to go? The map I have is kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. There's a trail marker right here, but is this for the north-south trail, or is this going to take me some side-goggling way? The bridge is cooler. We're going to go where the bridge is taking us. When you're hunting for animals like this, a good place to track or find or see if there's any sort of animals nearby, especially large fauna, is creek beds. All sorts of animals come to creeks like this to like get water or to wash, and sometimes they can be a very good spot to find paw prints. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for any type of paw print or any type of other sign that there could have been a critter here getting water or just crossing the stream. And the fact that this stream is really low is really helping with that. That's a pretty rock. I'm going to take that home to my wife. Unfortunately, this creek ain't telling me much. You'd think there'd be more signs of something. It's just about springtime here in the south, so let's see here. Oh. That is a really pretty rock. Check that out, critters. Look at that. Yeah, nothing of interest, at least. Nothing, no tracks here, not that I can see of. Well, shit. That right there, just what you want to hear when you're hunting for werewolves and dogmen. God. I would say coyote, but usually they're kind of yipping. Maybe a dog? That was a little ominous. Well, we haven't even been in here that long. We're already hearing dogman, werewolf-esque sounds. That was odd. I've heard coyotes a lot. That didn't sound like no coyote I know of. It's kind of hard to tell distance and direction. I think, I'm pretty sure it is coming from where I'm heading right now, so I guess we're in the right direction. God, it sucks that they don't allow you to bring weapons. I'm gonna have to fight this thing with my pig sticker. Well, at least it'll make for a good story when I bring its head back home to mount on my wall. I came from over here. I swear to God, if there's dogman in here and you're screwing with me, I'm gonna tear your tail out of your ass. I ain't picking nothing up on the thermal camera, but it definitely came from here. Look at that big old oak. Oh, check this out. That's definitely a critter hole. I'm not gonna mess with that. Mr. Dogman, you trying to lure me out so you can tear my throat out? Check out this really cool structure right here. Now, I don't know if I'm completely convinced, but a lot of the really big Bigfoot enthusiasts say that Bigfoot and Sasquatch will lay trees like this in these kind of patterns as like territorial markings and such. Seems a little far-fetched to me, but let's get back on the trail before I get lost out here in an unfamiliar woods. Check out how this tree falls right here, caused by gushes when the river starts flowing real big during the summer. What I love about getting into creeks during the off seasons for high water is you can really see just how high up these creeks can get when it gets to storming real bad. I mean, this right here, this is about chest height, so that's pretty crazy. And that right there is why they say to get the hell out of Dodge when there's a flash flood warning. Water can rise and kill you, just straight kill you out of nowhere. Water is honestly really terrifying to me. More terrifying than a werewolf, to be honest. Look at that stagnant water. That, my critters, is the water you don't drink when you're lost out here. You still have to filter it no matter what, but at least make sure that it's running water and not stagnant.
All right, I've hiked all the way back to this here bridge because I was going over the footage and the sound recording that I got earlier, that wolf-like, dog-like creature. And upon further inspection, it actually came from this direction, not where I was going at all. So I hope it didn't catch too much ground on me. I just gotta hope that if whatever that is, whether it be a coyote, a dog, a wolf, or a wolf man, that I can catch up to it and try to catch it on camera. Hear that? I was right. It is coming from this general direction. All right, critters, let's just keep on going down. I keep hearing the sound of howling. Oh, God. Yet another bridge. Check this right here. That right there. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but that is a paw print. That is a paw track. Probably a dog or a coyote. Given that dogmen are usually 7 feet tall and possibly almost 300 pounds, that does not match the diameter that a creature that size would have for feet. But hey, who knows? Maybe it's just a move in the right direction, you know. This is a little interesting. Big old rock. And it's been thrown. These normally you see kind of in creek beds down yonder. It's kind of odd that they're here, and it looks like it was broke open over something. They say that Bigfoot can sometimes use tools. They'll break off rocks to use as tools. You know, Dogman is part man. A werewolf is were, you know. Maybe they do something similar. Maybe they can use simple tools when they're in their more bestial forms, huh? Whew, I just felt the chill come through here. That little area right there must have just been perfect for an air draft or something, huh? This is odd. A stick has been placed here so that it kind of hangs. What do you think of that? Just a coincidence or a territorial display? Oh, I see something man-made over here. We have chicken wire and a bucket. What's in here? Hello? Huh. Oh, check it out. Oh, there's a critter. There's a critter in here. Hold on. You see that little tail right there? That's a salamander. You see him? All right, little feller. I'm going to roll your log back over just a little bit. I don't want to crush you, but there's your home back. At least I was able to find some sort of fauna around here. Little salamander dude. Well, I found out what the chicken wire is for. Let's get down yonder here. Oh, see this? They're using it to make a wall out of these river rocks. I guess they're trying to repair the damage from whatever storm did a lot of damage to these trails. Yeah, I guess chicken wire is a good enough way as any to repair a wall. Anything interesting? Any critters? Any crawdaddies around in here? Huh. Oh yeah, look how milky that water is. That is stagnant. That is more stagnant than my Instagram account. Ugh. Yeah, let's I don't reckon I'm gonna find any more critters. Let's keep on going. Here's what I'm worried about. I imagine a creature like a werewolf can move pretty damn fast through the woods, and it probably doesn't have to follow trails like I have to. I'm worried that in my bluster of going the wrong direction, it may have completely outpaced me and could be, you know, miles away. That's what I'm worried about. And that I'm just not going to be able to catch up to it at all, especially with how often I have to stop. Damn it, why do I have to go the wrong direction? Oh, I'm such a fool. Check this out. I reckon there's been a forest fire here years ago. You see how we have these bigger trees, and then right in there, those little tiny trees all clustered together? That's all new growth forest. And a lot of times there'll be a forest fire, and then the fire will actually really enrich the soil, and it can sprout out a perfectly new forest patch of trees. Yeah, controlled forest fires are some of the best ways you can get a forest to reinvigorate itself. What is that? Ugh. Look at the way those branches are growing out of this tree right here. That is gnarly and gross. All the trees in this forest are very creepy, ominous looking. Hello! Oh, shit. I hear something moving around in there. Let me bring out the thermal camera. Maybe we'll be able to see through all this brush. But I definitely hear something rustling. Right there, you see it? Oh God, I think that's a freaking bear. Hey, bear! It's moving away from me, I think. Oh God, it looked big. That was a big round butt. And it's not prancing around like a deer. I think that's a black bear right there. Hey, big bear. Don't mind me, big buddy. Yeah, he's going to where I can't see him through the thermal. He's going through the brush. Hello. Huh. Yeah, judging by the size of it, that rump, that was either just a small deer that for some reason wasn't walking like a deer, or it was a black bear, which doesn't bode too well for me because this is springtime. Spring and the fall are some of the worst times to run across bears. And if I keep going down this trail, I think I'll stay out of his way. Don't mind me, Mr. Yogi. Don't mind me. Huh. Alright, I have a decision to make now. I told my wife I would be back by 12 o'clock. I've been hiking since 6 o'clock. I've been hiking since 6:30. It is currently 9:20. I reckon that I'm gonna head back. I think that whatever that howling was earlier, whatever that creature was, I definitely lost it. And there are bears in this forest, apparently, so I don't want to be meandering around here too much. If that was a bear. But I think I'll start heading back. But we're not done yet. Once I get back to my wife, we're going to start driving around the park and see if we can catch any notion of other possible werewolves or dogmen in the area. Oh shit. Well, apparently it's not further away. That was like where I just came from. Oh shit. Oh my. That is so fucking close. Hold on, I'm trying to fuck with my lights here. Hold on. You know, all of a sudden, I'm not too excited to come across this thing. Oh, God. I was gonna go back, but whatever that thing is, it's right where I was, and it's trapping me here. It's right where I need to go to get back to the car. It stopped hollering. I'm going to put down this camera and just use this one right here. I hear creaking. Because I'm going to need my hands. I need one hand to hold my knife and another to hold my thermal camera so I can actually see this thing. Alright, I'm going to put this camera away now. Alright, let's see if we can't find it with the thermal camera. Wherever the hell it's gone. You hear that? That there is an owl. So there is a canine creature in here with me and an owl. I don't see the canine creature here on my thermal camera. But as you can see, there's so many damn trees around here. It started going that direction, I think. But if I want to get out of this forest, now is my chance. Maybe my only chance. Alright. I'm going to put down the thermal. I'm going to haul ass back to the car. It was in there somewhere, judging by the noise, I think. I hope I'm not about to come across it right on the freaking trail. The car. Oh. And my beautiful, beautiful wife. Hey.
Animal activity.
You're fucking telling me. Alright, it's the next day. We just left my hotel. That was crazy. I'll tell you what, I've heard many coyotes throughout my life. I've heard many of them on this channel, you know, them hooting and hollering in packs. I've never heard one quite make that sound. So, at first I thought maybe a wolf, but I looked it up. There's only 2 wolves here in the land between the lakes, and they're held in captivity. So, it couldn't just be a wild wolf just roaming around.
They also don't sound anything like that.
Yeah, they don't sound anything like that. Wolves don't really bark. They'll howl. But coyotes bark, but I've never heard one bark like that. They say that Bigfoot will make these whooping noises. So, there's that. And there's, of course, the Dogman possibility. But we're going to go up to like a ranger station and try to find a park ranger and see if he has any type of info he can give us, if he knows what the hell that sound was, because I just don't know. We're also going to drive around and get a sense and a look at the different fauna you can find here.
There's more. They're right there.
What, turtles?
Yes.
Look at that. Can you guys see it? I'm going to zoom in. There's an armada of turtles all over this pond. Yeah, we're going to drive around. We're going to try to see exactly what kind of animals we can find out here. Like coyotes, if there are, if we do happen to come across a wolf, because I'm just damn curious. This is a prairie where you can see like bison and elk and stuff. They got this shit locked up like Jurassic Park, dude. Electric fences everywhere. Do you think they're actually keeping the Dogman in here? No. All right, let's do it.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, there's already shit in the road.
Alright, we are back in the studio, critters. This was definitely an interesting investigation and probably the most animal noises and attention that I've ever captured here doing this YouTube so far. I'm not entirely sure that that was actually a bear, but judging by how large it sounded, it probably didn't sound so loud through the camera because GoPro audio kind of sucks. But in my ears, it sounded really big, and I know what I've come across bears in my life. I know what it sounds like when they walk through the brush. That one was definitely a bear. As for the other canine creature, it definitely could have been a coyote. We weren't able to find a park ranger to ask, but I asked friends who are in the woods even more than I am. I asked my hunter friends. I asked my Discord if anyone could truly identify that sound down to the bare bones, and some of them said it could have been a coyote, but they've never heard a coyote make any of those specific sounds. That being said, coyotes make some weird fucking sounds, man. So it's just inconclusive. I would like to think that that was a Dogman or a Bigfoot or something, just because I want to feel like I caught something paranormal on camera. Either way, that was exhilarating, and I wish I could have stayed longer. But I have work tomorrow. I was only able to get out there for one night. But given how haunted the land between the lakes seems to be, how many different sightings of cryptids and different paranormal interactions people have out there, I'm definitely coming back for a much more extended stay. I want to stay out there for like a week. I don't know if it's going to be like down in the summer or further into like October in the fall, but I'm coming back to the land between the lakes. And I'm going to spend nights out there. I'm going to camp out there and see if I can truly capture something on camera. I got kind of spooked, so I kind of hightailed it out of there. I should have just nutted up and looked at it with the thermal camera, but I was too frightened. But yeah, let me know what you think that critter is. And if you have more experiences with coyotes and that is 100% what that is, let me know in the comments. I want to know as much information about what that could have been. And regardless of what it was, I hope y'all have enjoyed the video. If you want to see a hillbilly explore the hollers and ghost towns of Appalachia hunting for cryptids, monsters, and ghosts, hit that subscribe button. That is exactly what I do on this channel. And make sure to like and comment because it tells the algorithm that you like the video, so it shows it to more folks. And I will leave a link to my Discord in the pinned comment section so that y'all can join the Discord, talk to me and other subscribers. With all that being said, y'all have a good day.